Hi, welcome to my channel again. Thanks for returning. Take a look at this. If you're new, welcome to my channel. I do have my initial video on there with the introduction. So if you're new, thank you for joining me and for being part of this channel and being able to see these things. I hope you can take something away that's useful, beneficial, inspiring, whatever you want to call it. Just so it's something that makes your life a little bit better. Because life's an adventure. We got to make it a better one. And on that note, I do have some great content that's going to be coming out soon. I'm in the editing process right now. I got back at the last week from a long 10-day trip to the Maldives. And I have all that with lots of content, pictures, videos, all that sort of thing. And it's all getting edited and processed. And once I have it together for you guys, I will have it posted here on this channel as soon as I can get it on there. I'm also going to be going back to some videos and some pictures of previous adventures that I've done, and I'll be putting those together in specific collages and things like that. So you'll be able to see all that sort of stuff too, which is really cool, and it'll be exciting. So, but in this particular video right now, it's kind of more of a vlog type of thing. I want to talk about your health. But I'm not going to talk about it like you think I might be thinking about talking about it. Like, wow, you need to do this for your health. You need to exercise or you need to change your diet. Not at all. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, I had some friends ask me, my best friend even, ask me, how do I stay motivated? How do I keep motivated to do all the things that I do? Do the different interests, do my work, do my studies. I do a lot of different things, and they want to know, how do I stay motivated? How do I stay on top of this? Where's my discipline come from? How am I able to make the changes I need to make in my life and be able to make it a better adventure? So in this video, I'd like to talk about my perspective of that, how I view that, and how I go about doing it. I look at it as there are 5 aspects of health. Everybody knows about your physical health. That's important, health of your body. You want to be healthy so you can live a long time and you can, have a happy life and do all the things you need to do, right? And we all kind of struggle from time to time dealing with different health-related issues and physical fitness issues and diet-related issues and all those kind of things. A little background for me is about 3 years ago, I weighed about 415 pounds. 2 years ago, I was on the verge of diabetes with a high A1C that popped up. Okay, my fitness went down because I had to have a thyroidectomy several years ago, and it screwed up my entire metabolism, and it took years to get it back into place. But I didn't give up. Instead, I went back to my military background, and I started having an exercise program. I put together a big exercise program for myself. I went through and I drew upon my knowledge of nutrition and anatomy and things like that. And then I went and I learned more so that I could be able to put myself on a very healthy diet and a whole process. I've been doing intermittent fasting for 15 weeks with a 4-week break, so that I'd end multiple break days, so that I'd be able to let my body recover from it and then go back into it again. And I've had a lot of success with that. I've also had a lot of success with a healthy keto diet. I've been on a healthy keto diet for the same amount of time. Actually, I started healthy keto about 2 weeks before I started the intermittent fasting. I tried a lot of other diets. I yo-yoed. It was not good. Once I did those things in conjunction to doing fitness, I started my fitness routine actually 2.5 years ago. That made a difference. That made a huge difference. But it wasn't enough. And so here I am standing here telling you that I've lost 175 pounds in 2 years. It took actually a total of 18 months to get where I am now. I'm only 50 pounds from my target weight that I want to be at. I'm fit, I'm healthy, and I began adventure racing about 4 months ago. And I love it. I never thought I'd be able to do that. But that's because I addressed my physical health. Now, you don't have to go the extreme I did. The whole point of the physical health aspect of this, for me, was I needed to make myself more healthy. I needed to find ways to do that. If it took a long time and I just made little teeny bits, that's fine. That's all you need to do. You don't have to push yourself to an extreme, but you do have to push yourself a little bit every so often. You do have to do something daily to make yourself feel better. When you exercise, when you stretch, when you even start moving around more, it will make you feel better. It may suck right now, and you may be like, ow. But 3 or 4 months down the line, a few weeks down the line, you're going to sit down and think, wow, 4 months ago I couldn't even do this, and now I can. That's what physical exercise does. It gives you a boost of confidence. It makes you feel a little bit better. And there are days when it sucks and days when it's good. But even if you do a little stretching every day, like, I don't exercise every single day hardcore. I mean, I do work out. I work out anywhere from 3 to 4 days a week. My workout varies. I'll go to the gym. Sometimes I'll do a trail run. Sometimes I'll do a mountain bike. Sometimes I'll go for an intermittent run, like interval running. Sometimes I'll do some fast walking. It just depends. But if it's not a day that I'm going to exercise on, or if for some reason I'm busy doing other things, I stay active. And it's active that's what makes the difference for your physical health aspect. You got to be moving. You got to be moving somehow. Ideally, you'd be stretching. Ideally, you would get up every hour or two and walk around or do something. I try to keep myself busy. I'm a kind of person that likes to be busy. So I may be doing something with my hands, working on some project. I might be going for a walk. I might be doing stretches. I mean, all those things are important. And the other side of physical health is, of course, sleep. Try to get yourself set up with some good sleep if you can. There's a lot of different ways to be able to improve your sleep. I can talk about that in other videos if you want, but physical health is the first part of the 5 parts of being a healthy person, and that helps your motivation. The second thing is that you're going to go with your mental health. Now, mental health is a big deal. It's a huge issue in this country. It's a huge issue in the world. Everyone struggles with different things from time to time. Everyone has traumas that they've dealt with. Everyone has had times when they're sad, times when they're happy, times when they're angry, times when they're hurt. There's a lot of different times when you have trouble. But you need to give yourself the ability to be able to help your mental health. And when I say mental health, there's a couple of aspects to that. One aspect is kind of tied into your spirit, spirit, spirituality, emotional health, that kind of thing. It all kind of blends in on that side. And then you have your mental health, that's your intellectual side. So I'm going to refer to you, when I say mental health, from this point forward, I'm going to be talking about your intellectual health. When I talk about spiritual, I'm going to talk about your emotional health and the aspect of just your spiritual life, okay? So the first aspect that I'm going to talk about, the second of the 5 things that I consider to be part of my life's health, is my mental or intellectual health. You learn something every day. Read a book every day. If you don't want to read a book, listen to an audiobook. Watch a documentary. Maybe watch a YouTube video that tells you about something. Every day, challenge your brain to think and learn something. And that will keep you mentally healthy. It will help your brain. And incidentally, that kind of thing, I've heard, can help you with different types of mental health things a little bit. I have a friend who suffers from a lot of anxiety. Actually, I know quite a few people that suffer from anxiety, but I have a friend of mine that suffers from anxiety. And one of the things that my friend does is she reads. And when she reads, it takes her mind away from what is anxious causing for her and puts her in a different world, and then she relaxes. So that's one of the things you can do to give your mind the ability to improve, to be able to calm it down, to help it be healthier. Stimulate yourself intellectually on different levels if you can. Think about, like, some of the things that I will do is I'll work out a problem in my head. I'll think about something like, for example, how am I going to go ahead and build this thing? And then I'll go out and I'll be doing something that doesn't require a lot of brain power, and I'll be thinking about, how am I going to build this thing? How am I going to put it together? That's just one example. Or how am I going to cook this dish? And that makes your brain think. And if your brain is thinking, that is like a mental exercise, and that helps you stay mentally healthy. Study something. Learn something. Learn a new language. Learn about something that you didn't know. Watch a documentary on Nat Geo. Those things keep your brain stimulated. Build something, do some crafts, make a new dish. These kind of things tap into the creativity, which makes your brain work better. That covers your intellectual or mental healthiness. The other aspect is the emotional healthiness, which I tie in with spiritual healthiness, because our emotions are really tied to our souls and spirits, in my opinion. And so I think that's really important. And I know everybody's starting to hedge around that thought of, okay, what's she going to say about religion? What's she going to say about faith? I'm not going to say that much about it. I'm just going to say that your spirituality, whatever it is, whatever faith you follow, whatever beliefs you have, it's important that you visit those from time to time, and that will help you. You'll find comfort in those things, but you have to also look beyond just that aspect of things, but look at the beauty in the world. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but for me, and yes, I do have a faith and I do stuff with that, but we're not going to go into that. But the thing is that to cover emotional and spiritual health, you have to be able to give yourself time to have breaks. You have to have moments of happiness, moments of peace, moments of calm. And it's hard to get those. I know. It's like really, really hard. And I worked very hard to do that. And I had a therapist once, and she told me one of the things that she was, and I've had actually a couple of therapists over the years, and she told me once, she said, you have one of the strongest minds I've ever seen. She said, you have a emotional resilience that is unreal. And I took that as a compliment, because I work really hard to give myself the strength, the emotional, spiritual strength to endure things that would make some people cry. I know I haven't talked a lot about my life and some of the traumas and things I've been through, but I have seen a lot of hard things in my life. And I know all of you have had a lot of traumas, difficulties. Life isn't easy. Adventure can be rough. But here's the thing. I learned that you have to try to take time out, whether it's to take a prayer, whether it's to go outside and be able to feel that the nature's around you. Just take a deep breath, take a moment, and just embrace the beauty of being alive, of being there. Not worrying about the other things, not worrying about the aches and pains, not worrying about where you're going to have to pay your bill, not worry about the big shift you're about to undertake in the office, not to worry about any of those things. You just have to take a minute or 5 minutes. If you like to meditate, meditate. Whatever it is that takes you to a place of happiness for just a few moments. And be able to know that yes, things are going to be hard, but things will get better. It may take a while, but it will happen. Better might be longer moments of happiness. Better might be an accomplishment. Better might be an experience you never thought you'd be able to do. Just know that that's coming. And you just try to focus on that, and you just try to relax and let yourself be. And that, I found, for me personally, is how I maintain my spiritual health. And I maintain my emotional health. I give myself a time to be able to vent if I have a lot of emotions, and then I let those emotions go. I don't hold on to them. I used to hold a grudge. I used to have this thing I called the Book of Grudges, and I would hold a grudge against everybody for a long time. And I learned that that's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. Why would I waste my time worrying about something I can't do anything about? And it's done. So why would I do it? So then I realized that that was affecting my spiritual and emotional health. I don't want that. So I learned to let it go. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't times when I run into something or somebody and it brings back memories of past hurt or past trauma or past issues. And I'm not saying I don't get upset or angry or feel like, yeah, okay. No, it's not like that at all. I mean, we're people, I'm not infallible. And so, yes, I have those moments just like everybody else. But then I give myself a second and say, whoa, you take a breath and call it good, So that takes care of the third piece of healthiness out of the 5 pieces of healthiness. Then we get to the fourth one. Financial and material based health. Okay? I lump financial and material health into the same thing because I've seen where having too much stuff can be bad. Look at hoarders, for example. But I can also see where not having enough stuff can be bad too. Look at people that don't have anything and they need things. And then there's the financial aspect of it. You're struggling. You barely have the money to make ends meet. You can't feed yourself or your family, or you've got a lot. Just because you're rich and you've got millions of dollars doesn't necessarily mean you're financially healthy. At least in my mind. And the way I look at this is the best way, and what I strive to do, and what I am continually striving to do in this journey, is to become financially free. And that is kind of my goal. Okay? And the way I look at financial health is I look at it like this. Financial health is very simply, you have the ability to have the funds available to make yourself comfortable and healthy and take care of yourself and your family. Other than that, there you go. I believe in the concept of I'm not ever going to work myself to death to get to a retirement when I'm old and I can't do anything. So I choose to live my life. But I choose to work hard to be able to get to a point in my life where I don't have to worry as much. And that is financial healthiness, in my opinion. It's being responsible, but it's also thinking about how you're going to get to where you're going and make it happen a little bit at a time. And it's hard. It's not easy. But you know what? You can get there. And I can talk about that in some other videos too. I can talk about each aspect of this actually in different videos. The other thing is that the aspect of that is material stuff. I personally am choosing to go the direction of minimal, and so I can talk about how I'm going to do that and what I'm doing with that. Now, you guys got the advantage of being able to see me at the beginning of this portion of my journey, where I am pulling myself along into this new mindset, this new type of healthiness. And you get to come along with the ride, and maybe I can help your situation a little bit by giving you some ideas. I don't know. So that's the financial and material healthiness, which is the 4th item. And that leaves the 5th item. Your life's healthiness. I know it sounds ridiculous. Your life, healthy. Well, if I don't have a disease, I'm healthy. If I'm not emotionally a wreck, I'm healthy. If I'm not, your life healthiness. The other thing that I look at is when I'm trying to consider myself healthy, I'm looking at things in my life. If I'm around a lot of negative people, that's not a healthy life, because everything in your life affects each thing. You can't take your physical health and make it great without helping your intellectual health, or without helping your financial health. Your financial health is bad, so it's going to make your emotional and spiritual health bad. If your emotional and spiritual health's bad, that's going to affect your physical. It's all linked together. That's why I call it basically my healthiness. So with your life healthiness, I'm looking at things like the kinds of people in my life. Do people provide me with value? Am I able to provide them with value? Are they going to be negative towards me or positive? How are they going to influence me, and what are they going to do? I want to try to keep people that are positive in my life, people that are going to be good for me in my life, people that aren't going to try to cause me problems. Growing up, I had to deal with a lot of negative people in my life. I struggled. There was a lot of people that wanted to bring me down. A lot of people that tried really hard in their own minds to, I guess, maybe try to help me, but in reality, they hurt me. There was people in my life, I remember many times, that they would cause me all kinds of issues, work against me to try to make me not as successful or not as accomplished as they are, because it made them feel better. And I had to make those people go away. I had people they were fair weather friends. They only show up when it's good and happy for them, but not when I needed them, and treated me poorly when I came to them to try to see how they were. Had to get those out of my life too. That's part of your life's health. The other thing is that, you look at your environment. Do you have a place that you can go to that's home? Do you have a spot like this room, for example? I have this room. This room is my safe place. It's my what do you call it? Like your fortress of solitude, or your cozy spot. And you have this place. Do you have this place? This is a healthy environment, surrounded by things that make you happy or that bring back happy times. Do you have things that you do in your life that make you happy, that are moments of happiness? That's part of a healthy life. And when you add all those 5 different categories together, that is how healthy you are. And that's the way I work with as a basis for my motivation. I try to keep myself as healthy as I can. The other part of my motivation is I've been through some stuff, and I don't want to go through it again. I've been poor, don't want to be poor again. I've been homeless, don't want to be homeless again. I've been unhealthy and in pain. I don't want to be unhealthy and in pain again. I've had a lot of things happen in my life that I don't want to do again. So that motivates me to become a better person, to be able to improve the quality of my life, and in turn, have this adventure that is life. Once I realized that life itself is an adventure by itself, it wasn't so bad. The tough times, yeah, they happen, but they happen anyway, and they're not going to last forever. And I just strive every day to try to make it a better day, try to make it a better life, try to improve myself in different ways. And in doing so, I hope that maybe I make a difference in somebody else's life, and they can maybe have a moment of happiness or something, So that, as far as motivation is concerned, I do that, and success breeds success. So every time I have an accomplishment, every time I succeed at something, that's more motivation to keep going. And I follow my intuition. If my gut says this is a good way to go, I go that way. I'm motivated to do it again. And that's the other motivation I have for the things that I do. And the other thing is you have to look to the future. Dream of things. It doesn't matter if you're going to accomplish it. Just dream. This is what I want to do, and I'm working towards it. It's not about the goal as much as the journey. And that thing, it took me years to figure that out. And there's a great number of people that have been huge influences in my life. And I will touch on those in various videos when I talk about the different aspects of these things. And hopefully maybe your stuff gets better too. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for this. And oh, one last thing. I get a lot of motivation from motivational speakers. I know this sounds kind of cliche, but I do go on YouTube and I do watch the motivational videos. Plus, I look at people that are successful in areas of interest to me and people that have achieved the dreams that I'm looking for. And I find motivation in listening to them talk and tell their story and how they do things and things like that. And I strongly encourage you, if you have dreams that you want to do, if you have things that you think, I don't know, I could never do that. Like, I really want to be an astronaut, but I could never do that. You know what? That doesn't matter. You can still do the journey that way. And you can still do the journey those ways, and go to YouTube, go to books, go to different places, and you could even send them an email. I know it's crazy. When I was 14, I wanted to write a letter to the Queen of England. I come from a Scottish background, and I wanted to do it. And everybody told me, you're crazy. There's no way that you're ever going to get to do that. So when I was 16, I decided I'm doing it. I was in a bad way. I wrote a song. I can put it on a later video if you all want to see it. But I wrote a song about how stressed out I was and how depressed I was because of how I was being treated and stuff like that. And I wrote a letter to the Queen of England. And she wrote me back. Serious, not kidding. And it wasn't so much the letter as it was the fact that I wrote somebody who was world famous, and they actually wrote me back. And I was really shocked. And from that point forward, it really kept resonating in my mind through my life that you can reach for a dream, and it doesn't matter that you'll get it or not. It's the fact that you reached for it is what makes the difference. And it's the journey to get there is what makes you a better person. So I encourage you, pick dreams out. Think of things you want to do, things you want to accomplish. And then just do little things every day to try to get there. That's what I did. And here I am. I'm sitting in front of a video camera doing a YouTube video for the entire world to see. Never thought I'd be doing that. It's kind of scary, but I did it. I never thought I'd be a soldier, but I was. So I never thought I'd be into adventure racing and be able to do my first race, but I did. Never thought I could lose the weight, but I did. You got to reach for those dreams. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you'd like to continue to see my content, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. I'd love to be able to continue seeing these things with your support. And then, of course, hit the notification icon, and you'll be notified whenever I do my next video. Thanks for watching.